How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews, back with a beer I've been very curious about. I've wanted to have this for quite some time, just haven't picked it up till today. That'd be Ommegang. Yeah, this is their Neon Rainbows Hazy IPA, part of their Hop Heritage Series, New England Style India Pale Ale. It's not big, 6.7% alcohol by volume. It says Neon Rainbows bursts with hop-driven notes of tropical fruit, citrus, hints of pine. The hops include Citra, Mosaic, Simcoe, Centennial, and Topaz. The first round of dry hopping is Citra, Mosaic, followed by a second round of Topaz and Simcoe. Yeah, and the only thing I could say about this beer is that there's no born on date. It just says Best By January 11th of 21. Okay, never mind. I am wrong. It says L number, so there's a lot number on here. This is relatively fresh. This is less than a month old at the time of filming. Okay, fair enough. I was gonna guess at when this was canned. I kind of don't want to. I didn't read that part actually when I picked it up, but I said screw it, I'll pick it up anyway, because if it was like somehow found out this is like 8 months old, that'd be on them. So we'll see what's what. I'm really curious. This is my first hazy offering, or hop forward-ish hazy IPA offering from Ommegang. Not known for their hazy beers. So we'll see what's what. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, when we talk about new school New England style haze, it's not necessarily what you think of. Label-wise, it's all right. It's kind of that Ommegang kind of diamond pattern thing they do on their bottles, but a little bit bigger. And yeah, I mean, is that a hazy IPA? It's cold out, man. It's fall. I keep pulling my sleeves back, and I gotta keep pulling them down. In the grand scheme of things, yes, that is technically a hazy IPA as far as looks go. But in today's world, when you read New England style hazy IPA, you expect it to be a little bit different than that. It looks like old school, like heady level kind of hazy kind of IPA. Soft haze on it, orange core, not a big head on it, white, just off-white kind of head, and just tight compact bubbles. What is there? So it looks like a hazy, albeit a bit old school, new school, old school. See what the nose gives. Really not much there. Citrus is there, both in a kind of slightly like jammy kind of marmalade-y kind of sense, orange marmalade-y kind of sense, in a combination of a little bit of kind of zesty kind of orange. Nothing as far as an overt bitterness, maybe a soft little like wet hoppy kind of ring to it, oddly enough. And then really not a big malt to it either. It's almost like a caramel malt level, washed out slightly, kind of, you know, caramel malt carapils kind of mix kind of thing going on. Nothing too crazy. Nose isn't gigantic by any stretch of the imagination. Not a bad beer. Doesn't really smell much like a hazy New England style IPA. See what it tastes like though. Cheers. Yeah, I mean, doesn't really taste much like a New England style hazy IPA. Citrus leads here, predominant in the clubhouse, followed quickly by a decent malt level to it. And it's not like caramel malt, it's almost like Maris Ottery. They actually talk about the malts on this? Curious. Yeah, you get that Centennial and Topaz coming through with a little bit of old school bittering. No, they don't call it the malts on it. I'm not gonna lie to you, this actually tastes like what I would assume Ommegang would make when they thought of a hazy New England style IPA. And then it's, you know, it just lacks that texture, lacks that creaminess, lacks that new school kind of overt, turbidy, kind of fluffy, creamy haziness to it. It comes off as like an old school brewer's interpretation of what a New England style hazy would be without actually drinking a ton of them. I know that kind of sounds like really poopy and really negative. It's not a bad beer. It's not like a negative beer. I'm like, oh, this is junk. It just doesn't taste like what you'd expect based off what the label says. Now you're getting that little bit of soft citrus, that little bit of kind of Maris Ottery caramelly malt kind of thing. Nothing too big. Lower medium side of mouthfeel. Nothing creamy, nothing fluffy. And this generic kind of bitterness that leans a little bit green, a little bit herbal maybe. And that's about it. I mean, yeah, not a bad beer, but this tastes like to me I'm trying to classify it in a way that makes sense without being a douche, because again, it's not a bad beer. There's no kind of negative off flavors. It just takes like a brewery, an old school brewery who wanted to make hazy IPA and just started making it, without doing a ton of research, without bringing in or learning how the better ones are made. It's just like, let's just make it. I mean, it's hazy. Let's do this, and let's use these malts. These kind of make sense, and let's just use these hops because I think that's what other people use. And it's kind of like, I've had this beer before from like local breweries. I'm not going to name names, but local breweries that like didn't make a hazy IPA that were around for a while. And then they just started dipping their toes in hazy IPAs, and then they eventually figured it out a year or two later. It's kind of like that kind of hazy. It's like someone's like third or fourth attempt at a hazy without doing any kind of in-depth research. So it's kind of just a slightly maltier, slightly less bittering version of an old school kind of IPA with that piney resinous thing not really at the forefront. It's subtle. It's a little bit there. You got your topaz and your centennial in there, so you're going to get a little bit of that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, not great, not bad, just there. So let's talk about it. Is this one of the better New England style IPAs I've had as of late? No. Value and availability, I think I only paid $12 for this, so that's not bad. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like old school IPAs, and you want a touch of new school vibes, that's what this is. This is an old school East Coast IPA with just a dollop of new school kind of technique and haze. Again, not a super hazy beer, but it's a little bit of that. So if you like the OG kind of Fiddlehead, Sip of Sunshine, those kind of beers, their versions of their first iterations of the New England style IPA, but just a little less New Englandy, this will do you. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice little New England hazy. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.